Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to write now. And we are live. Welcome, my friends, to a Monday update stream. Today was a little unplanned since I'm still traveling and on the road, but we're going to go over some updates today in the ReadNow community. This includes our weekly update. What do we got on the ReadNow live schedule for this week? Channel memberships. We're going to touch on channel memberships, the story and critique show, what else? We have the ReadNow book club, and of course, Faded Fantasy. We'll be talking about the updates that we got with Faded Fantasy that we launched over the weekend. I'll talk through those updates a little bit for those of you who haven't been able to see what we got going on, and that's what we got queued up. Since I am traveling, this was not a coordinated stream with anybody else, so I'll be going over the updates myself today, and we'll see what we have queued up. Hey, what's up, Courtney? Welcome, my friend. I know we are streaming a little earlier in the day than normal, so we'll see if we'll see what we got. I imagine we'll probably have some of our friends watching on the replay. Calvin, good to see you, my friend. The week is here. The week is finally here, my friend. Looking forward to the published book, my friend. Calvin, definitely really looking forward to that. Whew, I was like, always a Monday is always a good start to the week. Today is going to be an excellent start to the week. So we're going to see what vibes we got, especially for the writing vibes this week. I actually feel like I'm going to get some solid progress. I feel like I'm going to get some solid progress on my writing. Yesterday, I had a really, really great writing session. Even though it was short, I'm actually really happy with where I'm at on the chapter. And I definitely 100% really want to get through this chapter. Tomorrow, we'll see if I'm able to do a writing sprint or what tomorrow's stream will look like since I'm still traveling. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. Hey, what's up, Megan? Welcome, my friend. Hope everything is well. I know everyone's super excited about Faded Fantasy. And yeah, so let me just pull up my stream. Make sure that everything looks good on my end. Changing screens is a little bit more of a challenge when I only have one monitor. So we'll see. I think I can do this. All right, and we are switching. Perfect, awesome. So we got this still. Wonderful. And Courtney, I might have freaked out about only having 11 chapters left. Well, hey, at least you're making progress, Courtney. At least you're making some solid progress, my friend. I wish I was making as much progress as you guys were. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling motivated by everyone here in the community. Megan, you're like, I'm finishing with my entry, just making tweaks. I'm going to organize it this week before the weekend, hoping to submit entry by Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Ooh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting, especially considering that submissions are due on Sunday. So we're going to be, we'll be touching upon Faded Fantasy in just a bit. I don't think we actually have, I don't think today will be a super crazy long stream. So as you can see from what we got for the schedule this week, like I said, while I'm on the road, the stream times are a little TBD. We'll keep our writers group at the same time as normal with our other writers in the community. Now, as you guys can see, this weekend, we got some new stuff going on this weekend. So Friday, we're going to officially be launching our next Discord event, Cozy with Courtney. So this is going to be a Discord-only stream, or not a stream, but a Discord-only kind of like writing, reading sprint session where Courtney is like, if I had done this, I think I had my thing correctly. It's a little challenging to do this on one screen. I was like, nope. All right, I'm not going to try. So harder with that. So essentially what it is in the Discord on Friday after the daily writing stream, Courtney's going to start doing a weekly Friday reading sprint, like it's not co-working, it's like a co-reading sprint sesh. So Friday nights, if you want to get your reading on, if if you want to get some reading sprints, if you're like, hey, I need to read more, or if you want to come join us and you're like, I'm trying to get through the book for the Read Now Book Club, Friday nights is the vibe. So Courtney's going to be hosting that in the Discord on Fridays after our writing sprint streams. So whether you want to come join us and get some writing in, or you're like, hey, what? I just want to get some reading in. Courtney, of everyone I know, has such a high reading velocity. So I think that's definitely going to be super cool. Oh, Calvin, that's awesome. You're wrapping up the last chapter. That must be so exciting. Courtney, like my book is a lot smaller than yours. Like me and my 160,000 word book. Romance is far easier than fantasy, in my opinion. I mean, two different genres. I think every genre has their own obstacles. I think the differences with fantasy, and when we think about reader expectations, fantasy readers tend to expect more complex world building and magic systems, right? Whereas readers in the romance genre have more expectations around complex relationships, regarding the love interests, the main characters, or the supporting. So it's just a different type of complexity. It is for sure. It absolutely is. But yeah, granted, fantasy books do tend to be a little bit longer on average than the romance book, at least over the past couple of years. So really, really good call out. And then let's see. So Friday we got Cozy with Courtney, and then looking back at our schedule, Saturday we'll have another writing sprint stream, and we're gonna follow that up with Chat Souls writing sprint co-working session over in the Discord. So we are going to be able to get a good amount of writing in on Saturday. Now, my writing sprint stream on the YouTube channel will probably be a little shorter. So if you're wanting to go hang out and chat with the other writers, Souls is going to be much more casual. You can show up in the Discord. It can be, you don't even have to have the camera on. Maybe you just want to listen to music with everybody and hang out. So that'll happen right after our Friday sprint stream or our Saturday sprint stream. So you guys can see the time. And of course, anybody who is a newsletter subscriber would have just received this in their inbox. I'll have access to this and all the details for the events coming up this week. And then Sunday's going to be the next episode of the Story and Critique Show. So make sure that if you want feedback on your story, submit now. Submit now. Because I do not know how many submissions there are, and we're going to try to get through as many as we are able to. So, Story and Critique Show will be next Sunday, where I do the live readings and critiques for writers in the community. So that will be on Sunday's stream, and that is the vibe that we got this week. So really looking forward to that. I feel like we have a pretty good week. Let me hop back to the much better screen. Awesome. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Courtney, read with me to prepare and jumpstart your creativity for writing with soul. Absolutely. Because as always, our goal is to be able to give you writers more opportunities, more ways to be able to interact with the community, interact with each other, just be able to come like hang out, whether you want to come hang out on a live stream or come chill in the Discord. So we definitely got some cool things going on this week. Cheryl, well, thank you so much for dropping by. Dentist is always not the greatest, but thanks for stopping by. And you'll absolutely be able to catch this on the replay if there's any updates that you want to know about. So, like I said, we're going to be touching upon a couple different areas today. Let's see, make sure I got my right thing. So, after our weekly update, so let's check into our YouTube channel membership. All right, so here we go. So for the ReadNow YouTube channel membership, if you want to become a member, super easy. It's just a great way to support the channel. Linked down in the YouTube description, or you can hit that join button right beneath this live stream. Essentially, there are 3 tiers. We launched the 3rd tier last week, which was the student tier. So for those of you who just want to support the channel, who maybe you want access to the icons, the emojis, or the members only live streams, that is the YouTube channel member tier. right? And that's going to give you access to all of the exclusive channel member live streams. Last week, we filmed the video of the ADI of believable characters. I broke down the action, dialogue, and interiority behind creating a believable character. We also have videos on there. We have flash fiction, we have author tubing, and we have some other ones on there for channel members only. So go check it out if you become a channel member. And this lowest tier is only for $4.99. So this is a great way to support the channel without really breaking the bank. So the second tier is our Right Now Critique member tier. And this is so anyone who's at the critique member tier, this is the second one. This is $9.99, that $10 tier. We'll give you everything that is, you'll be able to access everything from the lower tier. And you'll also get access to our channel member critique group. Our critique group is going to be Sunday, May 25th. So if you're wanting to come in and read and be able to get feedback from your story with other members in the community, with other channel members, this is a great experience. We've had very consistent members in the community show up for each of our monthly channel member critique group sessions. So this one should be pretty good. And I've also timed it on May 25th. So May 25th is going to be the day that those of you who are in the Faded Fantasy Flash Fiction competition, if you made it to the semi-finalist category, the semi-finalist tier, then you should be getting your stories back on that day. So this might be the day for help with the critique group, or maybe you're like, hey, I need help with my main project I've been working on. You're able to submit or bring an excerpt of your story, and you'll read it to the group, and then everyone will give you feedback. It's really great to get different feedback from different styles of writers. So that will be Sunday. And then our new coaching session. So this is the Right Now student tier. So this basically gives you access to me for an open office hours coaching session twice a month. Basically, I've dropped down my rate a little bit to be able to be accessible to the YouTube channel membership community. Essentially, the student tier gives you access to the 2 group coaching sessions. But now, even though it's a group, essentially what it is, it's private. So you're getting a one-on-one time with me for other channel members at that tier to be able to watch. Because that works with YouTube community guidelines. So this one is definitely a little bit pricier than the other two. This one is at $30, but it's much, much cheaper than my normal hourly rate with coaching. And I promise you, whether you want to bring a story and you're wanting my help to be able to maybe do like a critique or an edit of your story, or maybe you just want to talk through your story elements and grow as a writer, I promise you, you will get so much value out of our one-on-one time. And then also being able to see the types of questions that the other Right Now student members ask on their coaching sessions as well. So everyone who submits, you get access to those 2 a month. And then you'll also get the value of being able to see how others are growing in their journey as well. And then, of course, with the student tier, you will also get access to the critique tier benefits and the channel member benefits. So these are our 3 channel membership tiers. Very, very exciting. I'm very, very happy about how the channel membership has grown, and I'm so happy to answer any questions. If you want to know anything more about, like, you're like, hey, how do channel memberships work, or like, hey, which tier gives which tier, if you hit the join button right below the video, it actually gives you the full menu on the specific value you get for each of the 3 tiers. So it's still on my to-do list to create I need to update the video, the intro video, but all 3 tiers are on there. So that's for channel memberships. Hey, what's up, Jody? Welcome back. Back from the ick. Always sucks being sick, but glad to have you back, my friend. Hopefully the writing vibes have been treating you well. Hopefully you've been able to get some good ideas, even though nobody wants to be sick. Who knows what happens when you have these crazy fever, dream, delusions, and maybe you just get some good ideas in somewhere in that muck out there. Hey, what's up, Tiara? Welcome. Thank you so much, Courtney. You're so worth the upgrade. I did that for the first student meetup, and we had an absolutely great coaching session. Guys, for the value that you get, like I know $30 is a little bit more than obviously the cheaper tiers, but in comparison to my rates for coaching, which my rates are still predominantly cheaper than a lot of other content creators out there, like trust me, you will actually get exponential value out of it. So you'll get exponential value. I always try to ask myself, how can I keep myself at a range that's affordable while also being able to value my time? So, hey, what's up, Holistic? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome, welcome. You're like, buena dia. Courtney, it's labeled perks if you are already a member. Yes, thank you for that call out. Holistic, I love that. Like, in my imagination, I'm in the fantasy challenge. Oh, I love that. Holistic, are you submitting to the competition? I hope you are. I hope you're submitted to the competition. We want everyone to submit. And for those of you just hopping into the stream, welcome. Today's our update stream. So we're just going over all the updates in the community. We just touched on weekly updates. I just touched on channel membership. What do we got next? So we're going to touch on the book club and then we'll hop into Faded Fantasy. So for those of you who have questions, we've done a huge update to the Faded Fantasy competition, and I'm going to be getting into that in just a second. But let's hop into the Read Now Book Club. So I just want to do a quick shout out for what we got going on with the book club. I was like, that's our schedule. So for those of you who don't know, it is Romance Month. Our Read Now Book Club pick is Her Perfect Hero. And I know I've heard such great feedback about it. It is done by author Emma Bennett. So, for those of you who haven't picked up a copy, it's actually free if you're a KDP member. So, if you're paying, I want to say what KDP, I think it's a $10 monthly subscription. For the Amazon KDP, you get access to the whole library. Then you're able to get access to this book for free. If you're not a KDP member, I believe it's only a couple dollars. I don't think it's anything that's breaking the bank to be able to support the author and be able to come join us and read Her Perfect Hero for this month's book club. And then let's see, we have our quick blurb. Yep, everybody knows Miss Emma Bennett, who's joined me previously on the podcast, is another fellow author tuber. Emma grew up and lived in London before falling in love and moving to Wales. Emma now lives with her husband and 4 children in a small Welsh market town. She can often be found in rivers, attempting to control 2 overexcited chocolate Labradors whose snoring features in many of her YouTube videos. So, Emma is our author of the month. And now, with our updated Read Now book club stuff that we have going on this month, it's going to be super exciting. So, for those of you who've been with the Read Now Book Club, who've checked out our previous discussions, we are actually wrapping up our Read Now Book Club discussion and the author interview into one stream. So, that's going to be later this month. I believe we've marked that for Sunday. I want to say that we've marked it for Sunday, May 25th. So you got about 2 weeks to keep reading. And if you're like, hey, I got the book, but I'm not that far in yet, or like I haven't started reading, well, you're in luck because Courtney's going to be doing reading sprints in the Discord on Friday night. So if you're just wanting to read with other people and you're like, hey, yeah, I just want to read with somebody else, maybe like when I'm reading it, being able to talk about it as I'm reading it, the Friday Cozy with Courtney Discord reading sprint session is going to be just the vibe for you. So that's going to be super cool. And then for those of you who've seen, we've made the Read Now Book Club channel accessible to everyone in the Discord. So go in there if you've started reading it already and give your thoughts. I've heard nothing but great things about Emma's book, and I myself am really looking forward to digging into it. So really, really cool. I'm very, very excited that you guys voted on Emma's book for the month of May. So very, very exciting. And then we will probably, let's see, we're the 12th. So we'll probably have another update for book club next week as we start thinking about what genre and what books we're going to be doing for the month of June. Whew, can't believe we're already halfway through the month of May. So that is what we got going on here. I was like, going here is like, Coffin doesn't get multiple screens on his while he's traveling. Let's see. Holistic. It's like I keep looking for pen to start writing. Holistic, I believe in you. Holistic, I believe in you. I think all you got to do is, I think you just have so much imagination. I think you just got to pick up the pen, maybe come join us for one of the writing streams and just see what comes. You could probably write a really cool story. I feel like you really could. Uh, Calvin. Yeah, you're like, Sally, I couldn't commit for the challenge. Completely understandable. I mean, Calvin, you're launching your book this week. I think I think you have every reason to be a little busy this week. Very understandable, my friend. Sometimes when we're like, sometimes the stars don't align because we just got so much going on in life. That's why we do two competitions a year, right? We'll be back in the fall with the Freaky Friday Flash Fiction competition. So, for those of you, hopefully everyone can submit and be a part of Faded Fantasy. We're going to see what Mr. Crow has in store for everyone. Oh, Courtney, thank you for that. So, for anyone who wants to pick up a copy of Emma's book, My Perfect Hero, yes, not my, Her Perfect Hero, it's only $3.99. It's only $4, right? If you want to pick up like $4, guys, that's like half of a cup of coffee. That's like a half of like a McDonald's meal. I guess it's really not that much. If you want to go pick up the book, and those memories will last you a lifetime. All right, so very very cheap if you want to go pick up the book over on Amazon and support the author. Let's see, holistic. But I do desire to start writing something. I know 1,500 words is appropriate. 5 to 7 pages. Yes, yeah. So for Faded Fantasy, the max length of the stories is 1,500 to 2,000 words. It can be a little shorter than that, but that's the max length. The max length is 1,500 or 2,000 words. So yeah, it's roughly about 5 to 7 pages, give or take. Great, great call out. All right, my friend. So let's hop straight into Fated Fantasy. Ooh, because who doesn't want to see what we got going on with the Fated Fantasy competition? Who's excited for Fated Fantasy? Who's excited for Mr. Crow? So, for those of you who don't know, we had an update to the competition format over the weekend. Now, let me throw up the website on screen. So for those of you who haven't seen it already, we've updated the Faded Fantasy website to to make it more accessible. So we have all of the stream stuff, all of the Faded Fantasy competition stuff here for all of your viewing pleasure. And like, forgive this. Let me drop this in the chat. I know it's ugly. Don't don't focus on the screen of infinite mirrors in the middle. All right, there we go. All right, so there we go. So back on Faded Fantasy. So this is the new webpage. This is our magical showdown of imagination, right? So I just dropped the link to the webpage down in the YouTube chat. It's also down in the YouTube description as well. If you haven't seen our updated page, it gives you options on how to easily submit it. This talks about our mission, which really we just want to aim to give writers more opportunities to develop their craft, publish their work, and connect with other writers who are working towards similar goals. And that is what we are trying to accomplish. The competition itself is June 7th through 9th. And we go into the timeline of events down here. So we've updated the competition format. And I want to say, let me go into that, and then I'll circle back to our timeline. Let's see, where did I thought I pulled it up? Maybe did I? Yeah, in one world I did pull it up. So let me. And I was like, how is it possible to pull it up? So let's see. So we're going to go into what I read events. Let's go. Where did I go? Subversion 2.0. All right, so here is the Faded Fantasy info pack. And by the way, if you have any questions about Faded Fantasy, drop a comment. I would love to hear from all you if you have any Faded Fantasy questions. So the new update that we have done, let me go to perfect. So what is Faded Fantasy? So essentially we have updated, we have gotten rid of the write off challenge, the live challenge. We were originally going to do something, but due to a lot of feedback from you, the community, and all of the apprehension and all of the anxiety around potentially having to compete in something live, I am live. But just because we're live doesn't mean that writers want to be doing a live writing thing. We basically adjusted the format. So this is how it's going to work now. So all writers, let's see. So obviously submissions are due this Sunday, May 18th. Once again, we're leveraging a blind judging format and a grading point rubric system. All submissions will be graded by the judges, but the judges will not know who the individual writer is, to keep it as fair and unbiased as possible. So once all writers have submitted their stories on May 18th, our judges are going to get to grading all of the submissions based off our point grading system. It's going to be narrowed down to the 12 semifinalists. On Sunday, May 25th, anyone who submitted will be receiving the feedback for their story. They'll receive the grading and the feedback for their story, and the 12 semifinalists will be notified. They will have 1 week to revise their story, which will be due Sunday, June 1st. Now, this is optional. Like, this isn't going to be a requirement, right? Because you'll only have a week to revise if you make it to the semifinalist category. But if you really want to have a shot at making it to the finalists, the top 4, then we highly recommend that you take the revision notes and you really push that story to the next level. Now, if a revised story is not received by Sunday, June 1st, then of the 12 semifinalists, whatever story that originally submitted will be what will go live and what will compete to become the top 4 finalists. So once we have all 12 stories have been submitted, the revised stories, then semifinalists will basically take it through another round of blind judging between Sunday, June 1st and the start of the competition. During the competition, we will be announcing the 4 finalists, and the 4 finalists of the Faded Fantasy competition will be judged live. So what that means, their revised stories are going to be put through an additional round of judging by specialty judges, by specialty live judges. So it's going to be a whole new set of judges that's going to be happening live. Because the winner, so each of those 4 stories are going to receive a live grading experience, and those 4 are going to be basically competing to win the top 2 spots of the Faded Fantasy competition. Essentially, what this means is the winners are going to be based on the merit and the skill of their writing, the skill of how well they were able to revise their stories and to make those stories as amazing as possible. So that's how this new system works. Essentially, you can kind of think of it as like a 3-tier system, right? I think thinking of it as a 3-tier system is the best way to look at it. The first tier, or maybe bracket might be a better word, a 3 bracket system. So round 1, you got to get to round 1 gets narrowed to the 12 semifinalists. Round 2 will get narrowed to the 4 finalists. And then round 3 will be the show off, where the 4 finalists gets narrowed to the top 2 winners. So that's the best way to look at that. Now, let me go back to our timeline. Let's have it here. All right, so when we think of what our timeline is, so Sunday, May 18th, submissions close at this Sunday, May 18th at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, we will, let's see, Sunday. Now, of course, critique stream is Sunday afternoon, so you could get a last feedback on your story. But just remember, because the story and critique show is actually Sunday, May 18th at 2 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, which is 1 p.m. Pacific. But just know, due to the volume of submissions, I may or may not be able to get to it. So you can always do that as an additional shot. Like, hey, is there something that I might need to tweak with my story, but maybe you only have like an hour or 2. So just something to keep in mind. And then Sunday, May 25th is when the graded submissions will be delivered to all writers and the semifinalists will be notified. Sunday, June 1st, semifinalist revised stories are due. Friday, June 6th is going to kick off our Faded Fantasy competition with a game night in the Discord. So we're actually going to be doing a super casual, fun set of games just for writers in the Discord to just come hang out and to just kind of celebrate and bring up the vibe. This is kind of like that pre competition event where everyone can just show up and have fun, right? This is like that same thing of when you go to like a live conference and you get that like Friday night mixer social happy hour, and we wanted to create something that was super casual and something where we could just all hang out and have fun and laugh around without having to worry about like the writing or the judging or the competition itself. So that'll be Friday, June 6th in the Discord. And then obviously June 7th and 8th will be our live Faded Fantasy competition. That will be so much fun. And by the way, if you are just hopping into the stream, we're just going over Faded Fantasy right now. Feel free to drop a question if you want to know anything about the competition. Now, as we are going through it, once Faded Fantasy is over, writers, the 12 semifinalists, are going to have 1 month to take their stories through an additional revision. They are going to be receiving an email with specifications. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be including more details for the semifinalists to resubmit their story so that way it will be published in the Faded Fantasy Anthology. Writers will have a month from June 9th, basically, through June 30th to submit the revised story for the Faded Fantasy Anthology, which will then go live and be published in July or August. So we're doing this layout a little bit differently. Yeah, and we're also going to be showing and sharing more of the logistics for the Faded Fantasy Anthology when before writers even submit their revised stories. So the semifinalists will have better understanding of how the process works and then how their stories will be showcased. So we're very much want to be as forthcoming as possible about the anthology. And yeah, I think that is everything. Obviously, the webpage has all the links that you need here. It's got the info pack I showed. It has the submission link, just our YouTube and Discord. We also created the Faded Fantasy infographics. So if you want to help us advertise or like, hey, I want to share this with some other friends. We got these all the infographics you've seen. You can now throw them up on your own socials. So come help us bring more writers into the community. All you have to do is click on here on the web page, and oh, that's strange. Well, that did work. That did work at one point. Interesting. All right. Well, I clearly have to fix that link. I'm like, I was like, all the other links work. Yeah, for some reason that one got changed. All right, well, I'll fix that. I don't know why that link's broken. So I'll fix the infographics link so everyone can use the ads. I'll fix that after the stream. And yep, and then of course, guys, here are our oracles. So these are a team of volunteers who are putting everything together. Guys, this would not be possible without this competition would not be possible without the oracles of the Faded Fantasy competition. So definitely, guys, this is our team who's involved in putting the competition together in different roles and different capacities, whether they're bringing Mr. Crow to life, whether they're creating the grading system, whether they are helping us with advertising or anything else associated with the Faded Fantasy competition. Everyone is involved to a different capacity, and we're really focused on trying to bring you the best experience possible for the Faded Fantasy competition, especially the wonderful, eccentric Mr. Crow. All right, my friends. So that is what we got here, and I think that's everything. So let me hop back over here, and let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, what questions do you have about the competition? Does everything make sense to you? Are you feeling good about your stories? You're like, hey, have you submitted your story already? Or you're like, hey, I'm still polishing it. Got to make sure that it's as perfect as possible before you submit. I know I've seen a couple of you guys mention throughout the stream. So definitely, we want to see as many stories as possible. Very much looking forward to seeing what everyone has in store. Nice. I know, Megan, you were saying earlier that yours is getting pretty close, just under the 2,000 word count. So getting pretty close. Interesting. Holistic. Is there a way to count words beyond manually? Yeah, so yeah, I think Courtney might have answered that. Holistic. Wait, is there a way to count words beyond manually? Yeah, so Courtney, I know you said holistic. The judges are using Word to count the words. Google Doc has a word count as well. Yeah, so we had that question asked. We're using Microsoft Word as the official word counter. However, just so you know, we are only counting from the first word of the story to the last. So your title, the submission requirements are not part of that word count. So if you're counting on Microsoft Word, all you have to do is click on the first word, and then you can click all to the end of your story to get an accurate word count. That would be one way to go about it. So yeah, word count is only including the story itself. So that is a really great call out. And by the way, if you have any questions at all, we've actually listed all of these questions in the frequently asked questions section of the Faded Fantasy info packet, which is linked down in the YouTube description. So I would highly recommend check that out. We have all this. We have like I think there's like 20 questions, and a bunch of them were asked by members here in the community. So that was a really great call out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Megan. So, yep. So, if chosen, if you make it to the semifinalist category, then yeah, you're definitely going to want to revise. Like, we're not going to require it because it's you have only a week to do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a tight turnaround, but it's highly recommended. It would be highly recommended if you really want to give yourself that best shot at getting at making it to the final four and essentially winning the Faded Fantasy competition. So great call out. And yeah, holistic, hoping that you're gonna hoping that you'll submit, my friend. You're like making my heart beat. Yeah, let's see. I'm sure your stories will definitely make our judges' hearts beat. So definitely looking forward to that. We're definitely wanting some more romance submissions as well. We've had a high volume of fantasy submissions, so definitely would love to see some more romance submissions from our community as well. So we have some solid competition from both sides of the spectrum. Nice, Megan. You're off that weekend. So you're going to be able to come party with us for the weekend as you get to celebrate the competition. Let me tell you, I am so looking forward to it. I can't believe it is, I think it's a month. 1, 2, 3. Yep. We are 4 weeks out. So we are 4 weeks out from the live stream competition itself. Whew, man, I can't believe it's right around the corner. It will be the competition weekend before we know it. Oh my goodness. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Great question, 2 and 2, Courtney. So there will be 4 finalists, 2 romance and 2 fantasy. Great question. Great question. Especially because so it will be 12 semifinalists and then 4 finalists. So the 12 semifinalists will be narrowed down to 6 fantasy and 6 romance. And then the 4 finalists will be narrowed down to 2 fantasy and 2 romance. So yeah, essentially, if you're in whichever category you are in, you're basically to get from semifinalist to finalist, you basically have to beat out 5 other writers, giving you a 2 out of 6, so giving you like a third chance. So you basically have like a 33% chance or shot at competing against the others of making it to finals. Yeah, exactly, Courtney. That same exact vibe. So Friday, yep, the Friday is going to be very similar to what we did with Freaky Friday, except this time instead of a costume party, it's going to be a game night. So we're going to actually have some games planned by some of our volunteers, so people can like know they can show up, and we're actually going to have like some fun things to do. So it'll actually be a little different than Freaky Friday. Same vibe, same essence, but a little bit more. So if people want like some activities to do. So or people just want to show up and watch, that'll be cool. And this will all be in the Discord. So it'll be really cool. Holistic. Friday will be so cute. BYOB. Oh, no alcohol. Bring your own idea. Wait, bring your own badass characters. That's what you're going for. Oh man, I love that, guys. All right, my friends. So I feel like we covered a good amount of ground today. I feel like we were able to really hop into each of the elements of what we got going on in the community. So for those of you who still have questions, make sure to just drop them in the chat or come message us on Discord and we'd be happy to answer them for you, whether you want to know what's going on in the community or you want to know about the channel membership, the book club, or Faded Fantasy. So that's what I got going for you today. And I feel like we were able to touch upon everything. And yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, since I'm still traveling, I'm not quite sure yet what time I'll be streaming, but I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord. Make sure if you're not a Discord member already that you go join us in the Discord. Link down in the YouTube description down below. And that way you'll know when we are streaming. So this will be very, very, very cool, my friends. I'm so looking forward to everything we got in the community. And if you're just hopping into the stream, make sure to watch this in the replay because we went over a good amount of details that's going on with the ReadNow community. Awesome, Courtney. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Absolutely. If you got value out of the information we shared today, make sure to tap that like button on the way out. Help us show the algorithms that writing streams are cool. All right, my friend, I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining, but unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.